My name is Nolan Marshall Jr. I've been working in public schools for 40 years now. All of my friends are principals and teachers and past board members. My experience has been in these schools, working to help improve these schools. Schools will have to be more than just about developing people for careers and for college. They have to be about developing the whole child, and they have to become part of the community, and they have to be great citizens. And that's where I think we need to devote more time and have much more dialogue. I have 7 grandkids, all of them have been in public schools, and I want to see that they excel in all endeavors and not just be prepared to go to work.
Thank you. My name is Robichaux. I'm the elected District 7 representative for the Parish School Board, and I'm very pleased and honored to be also elected by my fellow board members to be president of the Parish School Board. 4 years ago when I ran, I said that I wanted to make Parish the #1 school district in the state. People said it was impossible. The school board was gone. It was corrupt. It was decrepit. It should be dissolved. And I'm here to tell you that possible is just the beginning, because we have touched that ceiling. Now, we haven't finished it. We haven't finished the job yet. We are there. We are right on the precipice, right on the cusp of really great success. My goal in the next 4 years is to make Parish School Board a nationally ranked school system. We can do it. This board has done what people said was impossible, and we can keep going and go forward and do it again. Thank you.
I first would like to give thanks to God, and I want to thank the First Baptist Church and all our sponsors for this evening. My name is Kwame Smirh. I'm running for the School Board District 7, number 94. I'm a native of New Orleans, Louisiana, the 7th Ward. I attended public schools, graduate of John F. Kennedy Senior High School in '88. I'm alumni of Xavier University, class of '93. I received a Bachelor's of Science in Physics and Math. I received my certification in the state of Michigan at Wayne State University in education. I'm a certified educator in the states of Michigan and Louisiana. Through my experience in the classroom, I believe it makes me qualified for this position and able to ask you for your vote. Now, you ask, why am I running for the board? Well, after returning to New Orleans, Louisiana, and looking for a job as an educator, talking and working with parents in the community, they're looking for more accountability and also the voice from the classroom. My experience in the classroom will help and enrich discussions about the topics and issues. It's time for people from the community and the classroom to be on the board. Educators should be in charge of education. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a question for Group 6, for District 6. For District 7, do you think we should have a separate school facilities authority? Why or why not?
Should we have a separate facilities school manager, right? Authority. I believe the authority should be within the board's right to dictate who's going to manage the pieces for facilities and management for upkeep or building or construction. I still think the board should set that agenda. Appointing someone only if it may be necessary, but I don't see that. I believe that the board should continue to make those policies. I don't think that you should have to appoint someone. We should do the job of running our schools.
If you're talking about a statewide school facilities authority, I am in support of that. I've testified for that bill previously in the legislature. Senator Carter Peters has sponsored that bill several times. The idea behind that, though, is that they work with the local school boards to prioritize according to local school boards' needs. Louisiana is one of the few states that does not fund from the state level school construction, and I think that's something that really needs to be corrected in this state. It's a heinous, horrible thing that we don't put value in education or the facilities that we put our kids in every day, and school facilities authority that's properly funded could go a long way towards that. I don't suggest that it should supplant the current master plan.
State should be in the business of properly setting the standards and making sure that all districts in the state have the facilities that they need. But if we're talking about locally, I believe we should have not a separate authority, but a fund that we have within our budget that it's restricted for buildings and for maintenance, and that we properly fund it based on what our needs are and demographic needs, projections are for the future, and that we have rules in place how we use that, and that we don't use it at the discretion of the board to pay for other things other than facilities.
All right, let's move on to District 6.
Well, failing schools start with successful schools, start with great leadership at the principal level, and this principal has to have the autonomy to be able to select his staff. Those are the first things they have to do. But equally important is we have to move away from providing education in the manner in which we are going to do this for the community that it serves, and we have to begin to do it with the community that we serve. That's integral to success. If you find most successful schools have an engaged parent, alumni, and community, that's as important as providing the technology and the facilities and everything else. I think we need to do all of those things, and if we do, we'll have a successful school.
The first thing you have to do is you have to find good leadership for that school. If you have to replace the leadership, you replace the leadership, and then you have to empower that leadership. Empower the principal and give that principal the power to hire and fire teachers that are not performing and not performing. Then you have to determine, you have to go in with a team, an academic team, and determine where are the weak points academically in that school. And then you send specific aid for those teachers, for those classes, in those subjects. And we do that already in our traditional schools, but when you have them, we don't have any failing schools right now in OPSB, but when you have a failing school, you have to double down on your efforts on that. But you must have good leadership in the school, and you must empower that leader.
Well, to improve the schools or to turn around failing schools, first I think you may need to engage, not may, but you should engage the school's community, those teachers, those parents, those students, and administrators. Take an account, take an assessment of what the problems may be at that particular site. Sites have different issues. We can't use a cookie cutter for every site. So you have to go in and do an assessment. Once you do an assessment, you find out those positives. You want to keep on doing those things that are good. Then you look for those negatives, those problems that you see in the school that you can have some effective change by doing something with that. If it is leadership from you doing an assessment, then we may have to look for leadership. If the staff, if the students, if the parents say that leadership is fine, we're having problems with something maybe in the community, or maybe some issue that the kids already come to the schools with, or maybe we need to look at some more wraparound that needs to happen with the kids, with their services, the special needs students. Look at where the problems are, let's identify them, but engage the community, engage the teachers, engage the administration. Don't just think that you're supposed to wash it out and turn it around to someone else that might not be needed. Thank you.
All right, the next topic, requesting information and assistance from the board members has been challenging. What would you do to make it easier?
Well, as I suggested earlier, I believe that the board members should have an outreach program to their schools, that they should spend more time visiting in their schools, visiting with the different organizations and the stakeholders at each school. We have to do a much better job of disseminating information on a timely basis before meetings and with the website in particular. You can't go to the website and get the current map of the district. I had a discussion today with a person that was trying to arrange a meeting, and they couldn't understand who were the current board members. There are many things that we can do, and I know they're in place, but are we doing them efficiently? No, we're not. And I think we can look at personnel, and we can look at the things that we're trying to do and do a much better job.
First off, I want to say that I always have an open balance there, but what I do is I always answer my phone, I always return my emails, I always make sure that any board, any constituent, whether it's my constituent or anybody else's constituent, emails me. I always forward it to the superintendent, make sure that he acts on it, and I think that's the best thing to do. Now, we can engage the community some more within our districts. That's a good way to continue building on community interaction. But as far as getting information from individual board members, I think that all the board members should have an open door policy, so to speak, with their phone calls and all their constituents.
I believe that it should be policy for the board that each district representative hold on a regular basis, every month, monthly town hall meetings throughout their district. It should not be an option. It should be mandatory. It should be a part of the job, a part of the responsibility, that you hold something that people know every month, first week, second week, whatever week it is, whatever day it may be, that you can come in, sit down and speak with your representative and share the good and the bad things that you may be having problems with. You have to make sure that it is important that district representatives are in their district, in their schools, having regular meetings with them, not only a phone call or an email. You should be able to reach out and shake your district's representative hand and say, "Hi, my name is Ms. Smith. I have a child at Bienville School, and I need some assistance with this. Can you look into this for me?" That personal touch. Thank you.
Well, I want to start off, but you're never supposed to do it, that is apologize, particularly to my son. I'm sorry, son, I blew up my opening. It's supposed to be much better than I was, but, you know, I hate this. I'm telling everybody I hate this format, these 1-minute answers. I just can't seem to get it together. There's so much I want to say about things that we need to be doing, and there's just not enough time to do it. I'm here for one reason, and that's to educate children and help us prepare our kids to become great citizens. People are supporting me because they know me and they trust me. I've been working to improve schools for over 30 years. Bob Riley and I started out a long time ago. I know all the educators, people that work in education know Bob Riley, as well as Leslie Jacobs, knew her way back when, before she was the Leslie Jacobs. So Paul Pashrak at chamber meetings to talk about education, served on those boards, served on Urban League board, served on the Partnerships in Education board, created the Friends of Joseph S. Clark 25 years ago to get Clark out of debt, created the Joseph S. Clark Community Council recently to help merge the community with the First Line group to take over and improve Clark. I've been there. I've done everything. I've been a parent. We had more parents. We changed the dynamic from starting in September to starting in June, where we could prepare for the upcoming year, when they used to stop at the end of the year and not see each other again till the start of the year. And I could never understand why schools that asked me to come in and work with them on their school improvement plan, why under certain administrations the school improvement plans didn't need to be in place or didn't need to be presented to the district for approval until November. How do you accept the school improvement program and actually implement it during the middle of the school year? I mean, shouldn't it be a review at the end of the school year and prepare your upcoming school plan for improvement over the summer so that you can implement it day one? I mean, there's just so many things I've seen that just don't make sense. It's like the principal in McKinley took me around our school to show me a school and brought me to the gymnasium where they had the Wall of Fame with Don Chaney and Eddie Robinson on the wall. And I'm saying, boy, this is great. And I was there to sell our products. But if I talk to any educator for 10 minutes, we're going to start talking about education. Took me around the school and to show me an athletic wall of fame, and I'm just, oh, this is great. I know the kids are excited. I said, thinking about. And
Hi.
thank you very much. I appreciate your time. Look forward to working.
Thank you. For decades, the Owens Parish school system was a clearinghouse for political favors. It was a job bank. It was a patronage bank for no-bid contracts. It was a corruption bank. We have cleaned up that situation. We cannot go back. We must continue moving forward and progressing away from the old ways of politics as usual towards the reforms that we've on track to keep going. And we must continue that track. We must show real leadership. Real leadership is not being moved by the mob, it's standing up to the mob. I have shown that myself. This board has shown it. No board, no group of elected officials in my lifetime has earned your vote for re-election more than this OPSB. We have done the yeoman's job. We have done what people said was impossible in turning around this system. I personally led the effort to implement the zero tolerance bullying policies in the state of Louisiana. I've been an advocate for that because all children must have a safe place to work, to study, and the student's performance, the number one criteria for the student to perform is their self-worth. That's empirical data. That is the most important thing I as an individual take credit for. Although it's a big coalition pushing that forward. I'm also very, very proud that I have never, ever cast a vote for my own political benefit or because it was politically expedient or because of political pressure. I voted every single time for what I knew and believed to be right for the system and for the children. My name is Robichaux. I'm the president of the Orleans Parish School Board. I represent District 7, number 93 on your ballot, and I thank you for your vote. Thank you.
I told you I'm a 17-year veteran educator, 20-year veteran coach. Volunteered in the communities of Detroit and also New Orleans. My experience in the classroom is what I present to you as my qualifications for this seat on the Board of Education. It is time for educators to sit on the Board of Education. I am not a businessman. I am an educator. I am not an attorney. I am an educator. It is time for educators to be in the business of running education. Thank you. I'm Kwame Smirh. I'm running for District 7, New Orleans School Board, number 94. Thank you.